Today I'm going to give you exactly what you have been asking me for. We are going to talk about Twitter for Libraryland. If you want to understand Twitter etiquette, how to use the platform to network, job hunt, find information, keep watching. Aquaba. Welcome everyone. I'm Jade, and on this channel, Misskoko the Librarian, I share my expertise so that you can also create a rockin' online presence that brings you to the attention of all the right people. And today is a collaboration video. I'm going to be talking all things Twitter in collaboration with Seraphim and Kelly, two good friends of mine. I'll be taking it from a Libraryland perspective, Seraphim will be taking it from an academic land perspective, and Kelly from education land. We are going to be sharing our Twitter experiences so that you can also become a Twitter expert. But let's start with why you would use Twitter as a librarian. And as far as social networks go, Twitter does seem to be the favoured one for librarians. There are plenty of Twitter chats and hashtags that cater to our interests, and compared to writing a blog post or lengthy captions on Instagram, the short character count of Twitter is highly appealing. And because of that restriction, people have learnt to be sharp and witty on the platform, and the fast-paced conversations are pretty much the norm. The nature of a Twitter conversation does appeal to the average librarian, where the demands of our day require heavy analytical and critical thinking skills. And because of the textual nature of Twitter, the social side of the network revolves around conversations and storytelling a lot more than it does on any other social network. But let me put it to you this way, how many new ideas are you going to be exposed to if everyone else is on Twitter and you are the lone librarian left in a very quiet Facebook group? As with all social interactions, you go where the party is, and the party for librarians is on Twitter. I have found that once people open up a Twitter account, they generally leave it for quite some time because jumping into the Twitter sphere is like learning a new language and can be quite intimidating. So this is what you need to know to start you off. Your homepage is where content from the people you follow will show up. Your profile is where you will see all the tweets you create show up. And direct messages is where you can have a private conversation with people who follow you. Something to note here, you can't DM someone you don't follow. A tweet is a piece of content you write up and then post. A retweet is when you highlight someone else's content by displaying it on your feed. A like, or love part, as my son still calls them, is when you show your support for the sentiment in someone else's content. A comment is when you leave your thoughts on someone else's tweet. A thread is a tool you can use on Twitter to write a narrative or keep the thought going through multiple tweets. And a hashtag is a way to categorize your content so that it shows up in the bucket of content under whatever hashtag you used. Now you've got the basics. But honestly, when it comes to having conversations on Twitter, just remember to be helpful, generous, and have an open mind. Just like you would when meeting someone for the first time, because chatting on Twitter, you will meet a lot of people for the first time. The nature of tweets makes them open to everyone to view, comment on, and interact with. And that is the beautiful thing about Twitter. You can jump in on any conversation and, well, as long as you're not an arse, people won't tell you to get lost. In fact, they'll probably integrate your thoughts into the flow of conversation, and then you have just found yourself a beautiful rabbit hole to get lost in. Now for some Twitter etiquette. Most of what I'm going to tell you will probably seem common sense. A lot of people understand what is cool and what is not cool to do online. But if you're just jumping into Twitter for the first time, it helps to know these things. When you are setting up your Twitter bio, think about including some useful information so that people know they have found the right you online. Many people in Libraryland use their real name, include where they work, committees they are on, or the types of topic or conversations you'd most likely find them on in Twitter. If you don't want to be that easily located online, then something that I've seen a few of my library colleagues do is to include a quote in their Twitter bio, which they use all the time, and that identifies them to the people who know them. Small talk. Something that I've found is that small talk doesn't actually work well on Twitter. People would prefer you to move past the small talk and into meaningful conversations. If you do want to engage with people, then just add your thoughts or comments to their tweets, or retweet what they have on their profile to yours. In doing so, you're actually showing your interest in their interests. And I know if we did something like that IRL, then people may be looking at us like, who invited you and wait your turn. But this isn't a video about etiquette IRL. It's a video about Twitter. One thing that is the same IRL as it is on Twitter, don't just talk about yourself all the time. When you do something like that, you're just becoming a mouthpiece for how awesome you are and showing that you can't listen to the conversations that are going on around you or the sentiments on Twitter, which is exactly what Twitter is good for. And in the same vein, try not to promote your own work all the time through your Twitter. You may be a writer of books, comics, be an artist, have a Redbubble account or a YouTube channel, and that's great. I love seeing how creative my friends are. But if your Twitter feed just looks like, look at this new video I created, look at this academic article I just wrote, look at this, look at this, look at me, look at me, look at me, no one is going to stick around to talk to you for very long. So try this instead. For every promotion that you post about your stuff, go to a friend's Twitter feed and find something of theirs that you can promote on yours as well. Just share the love. So once you have joined the Twitter party, you want to know where you can hang out. Twitter chats and hashtags are perfect for that. Hashtags are like buckets of conversations all on the one topic. So think about the things that you're interested in librarianship or your hobbies. Type that into the search bar on Twitter with a pound symbol in the front, and I'm sure you'll find plenty of conversations to join. But if prowling the feeds aren't your thing, there are a few Twitter chats that you can join. I am a regular participant of OzLib Chat and Museum Hour. In the video description below, I've actually got a link to all the awesome Libraryland Twitter chats and hashtags that I've come across over the years, so it's probably a pretty good starting place for you. I would also like to invite you to join me in a fortnight where I will continue your Twitter education and teach you how to use TweetDeck to organize the Twitter madness. You've been entertained and hopefully educated. I've been Jade from Misskoko the Librarian. Remember to always be curious, and I shall see you soon.